I bet a month ago, your biggest issues looked a lot different than they do today. Well, COVID-19 has surely changed how you work and, more importantly, how you're dealing with the stress of the situation. I feel you. I understand what you're going through. And as you're dealing with this health crisis and juggle work and family obligations at home, fear, uncertainty, and stress can set in. I'm here to help mitigate these negative states of mind and help you become a mind ninja. So who am I? I'm Dr. Sharon Grossman. I'm a psychologist and coach. My expertise is in working with law firms and helping lawyers become resilient in the face of stress. Through the years, what I've learned is that lawyers tend to specialize in critical thinking, which often means they worry and have pessimistic ways of looking at things. In these times, this way of thinking has become even more pronounced. I've been talking to lawyers and have extracted the most important aspects to help you through this challenging time. So today I'm going to answer 3 questions you might have. Number 1, why am I so affected by stress when other people around me aren't as much? Number 2, how can I change my relationship to stress? And number 3, what if I don't know how to manage? To answer the first question, we need to first understand what stress is all about. So what is stress? Stress is about perception. It's all in how we appraise our circumstances that determines how we feel. It is said that it isn't what happens to us that causes us to feel stressed, but what we do with what happens to us. And that's why you might notice that although we are all affected by COVID-19, a fellow lawyer might feel calm while you are feeling stressed out. So what can you do to be more resilient to stress? Well, since stress is about perception, it stands to reason that to change your relationship to stress, you have to change the way you think about stress. There are 2 dimensions to our perception. The first is our appraisal of the stressor itself. In this case, let's use working remotely as our example. You're used to going to the office, to having meetings with clients in your conference room, to having access to a desk, a phone, and likely a receptionist. This is a big change to suddenly shift to working from home without all these things you're used to having. You look at the situation as either a threat or a challenge. When you think of it as a threat, you go into fight or flight mode. Because this threat puts you in a state of fear about the uncertainty ahead, and your mind focuses on a future where you don't know what's going to happen, you freeze. You can't think straight. Here's the opportunity. It's about seeing the same situation as a challenge instead of a threat. When you see it as a challenge, you can move into problem-solving mode and come up with creative solutions. Perhaps you're worried about how to sign up new clients at a distance. Well, fortunately, technology has your back. You can use DocuSign because it's a digitized contract that you can access online. And if you're a partner who needs to track your associates, you can do it with Slack, which is awesome because you get instantly alerted to updates and can easily communicate with an entire team with little effort. And although you're isolated, you can see your clients and your colleagues by using Zoom or 8x8 for meetings. We are so lucky right now that there are so many technological tools out there. When you can't do your business the way you've been used to, you just need to adapt. If you had warning and we're told that you'll need to work from home and that meetings will resume on Zoom and communications will not take place on Slack, you would prepare and familiarize yourself with these technologies. When you think about stress as a challenge and not a threat, you can tap into solutions more easily because you are calm and have clarity. The second dimension to stress is your perception of your ability to cope with this new challenging situation. If you doubt your ability to cope, you are more likely to stress out and feel anxious. What helps the most is a confident mindset, and how confident you feel comes from acknowledging your past accomplishments. You've come so far to get to where you are in your career. Own your achievements, and this will help you see the situation as something you can in fact cope with. Your confidence in your success so far will help you not feel stressed. But what if you don't know how to manage? The keys are to accept stress as normal, so focus on what you can control and accept what you can't, and to use effective coping strategies. Instead of overcompensating, avoiding the situation, or surrendering to it, it's about focusing on your skill set and on your strengths. It's about trusting your ability to adapt, which is what optimism is all about. And if you're short on optimism in this chaotic time, focus on gratitude, which serves as a gateway to it. Even when many aspects of your life have been turned on their head, you have so much to be grateful for. And by focusing on these things, you can ground yourself in the reality of the situation, which is rarely one-sided. So by reappraising the situation as challenging instead of threatening, by seeing yourself as capable through looking at your past accomplishments and remembering how resilient you actually are, and by accepting stress as normal, you can tolerate the uncertainty, problem solve, and adapt to the situation. These are but a few of the tips that I share with lawyers. For a complete list of tips on how to mind ninja your stress, enroll in my mini course that I created just for you. Go to mindninjayourstress.com. It's free.